We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
This is getting way too dark. Tonight, TikTok got even darker than we thought it ever could. And you may be wondering, how are we gonna get to the dark side of TikTok? Well, I'm gonna go there and I'm taking you guys along with me. Yes, you don't get scared now. You know what you signed up for. You clicked on the video, so don't run now. So make sure you guys watch till the end so you can see the truth that is gonna change your reality. And don't watch alone, because this is gonna get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
So there's something that came out in the Epstein files where Hillary Clinton was sleeping with one of her staff members. He was saying that she was sleeping with this guy named Vince Foster. Vince Foster was actually brought in by, her and Bill Clinton, in which is Bill Clinton's childhood friend.
Okay. They
brought him in. Then they're saying, oh, Epstein said this. Hey, yeah, Hillary Clinton was actually sleeping with Vince Foster. Then, not too long after, he himself.
He always themselves. It's always a thing.
It's always suicide.
Especially around those, those guys.
Yeah. So, if you really look at the board of people that themselves, it's crazy. It's like 40, 50 people who all either worked for them or had something to deal with them. It was crazy. So they're saying that he had depression and he had pressure. There was something called Travelgate, in which a lot of people were getting fired through the Clinton administration, and bringing all their donors and friends in. But they were saying they falsely accused these people of doing all these things just to bring their friends in. And he was part of it and got a lot of scrutiny for it. And then that's where they said, oh, he had depression, but I think it was more.
No, for sure.
Epstein said it.
Oh, Epstein said it.
In his file. That's where it came out.
Wow.
Honestly, all these people in power only care about themselves. They do each other grimy. They do us grimy. They don't care about nobody's well-being but themselves. And all these people involved with this just need to be thrown in jail. If they don't get sent to jail, we could just send them to the UK with Ellen. I know you guys love Ellen over there in the UK. So, we got plenty more to send you.
This ain't flowers, y'all. This is chess. And 50 Cent just exposed the first move. 50 Cent ain't posting this for jokes. He posting this to show this was a message sent to him by P. Diddy. It was a warning wrapped in flowers. 50 Cent is a smart man, y'all. He know what he doing. He made this shit public to let y'all know. Think about it, y'all. Why would P. Diddy send 50 Cent flowers? He did this after he dropped the little documentary on him on Netflix. Diddy wasn't too happy about it. He tried to get the joint removed, but Netflix said, nah, we not removing it. The timing in the entertainment world is everything, y'all. 50 Cent is basically saying it without saying it. If something weird happened to me, y'all know who did it. This man created a digital receipt. That's his protection. I'm not saying it's gonna fully protect him, and I'm not saying Diddy gonna do anything or have anything done. I'm just letting y'all know. But by him doing this and putting this out, he the whole world, y'all see this. So everybody is going to be paying attention. No little crazy mishaps can really go on without somebody knowing. Maybe Diddy had something to do with it.
I'm not gonna lie, if someone feels bold enough to send you funeral flowers threatening you, you're gonna need to get the military behind you, because that is a very bold statement. But I mean, he is exposing Diddy for being a super freak, so I'm not really too surprised Diddy responded like this.
YouTuber Ross Creations just did what might be the most evil prank of all time. The Ross Creations posted a video where he made a possum launcher. Now, this possum launcher is one of the most inhumane things I have ever seen in my life. Basically, Ross would put a possum on the launcher, launch it up, and it would go and slam down onto the ground, after which the possum could be seen limping away, clearly hurt, probably to go and find somewhere to pass away from its injuries. Now, this stunt ended up getting Ross insane backlash due to how unnecessarily cruel it was, and people want Ross to basically lose his platform because of it.
Does no one else find it weird that schools every year hire a random third-party company to come and take high-definition pictures of children? How do we all just sort of brush past this fact? And then you actually go and look at these companies and you follow the money trail to see who owns them. Oh wow, BlackRock, Vanguard, what's going on here? And I know that sounds like a far-fetched conspiracy, but it's what do those companies do? They farm data collection, and now we're giving them high-definition photos that they can utilize for facial recognition. It's not really as far-fetched as you think.
She saw a man in her apartment who wasn't supposed to be there. This woman was watching a video of her daughter playing in her old apartment. An apartment she had moved out after experiencing strange stuff. She captured this strange man sitting in the kitchen.
Cynthia Erivo. Now. Ariana Grande. Now.
What is going on in Hollywood? Yeah, I live in the Hollywood area and I've been here half my life, and yeah, it's nuts. We all know it's crazy and these people are insane. But what the hell is going on with people's faces? Let's take a look at Megan Fox's new face. And by the way, that's the name of her baby. Saga Blade Fox Baker. But what's going on with the face? She used to be so attractive. What happened to that? Not only that, what happened to Zac Efron? He used to be an attractive guy, and now let's take a look at his face. What is that? That looks like a cross between a tan David Hasselhoff and the Incredible Hulk. What is going on? Did you see Miley Cyrus lately? Let's take a look at her face. Why is a young girl like that? Why is she getting buccal fat removal? What are they doing? Stop!
I have no words. Why does she actually look like that? We can't use the age excuse anymore. That is not age. That is just, I don't even know what that is. That's just disturbing. It's not good to judge people, but we all need to be aware that something very evil is going on here.
All right, so either times is getting really hard for Beyonce here, or this photo just proved that they are really cloning celebrities. Y'all need to pay attention, bro. Y'all need to pay attention. This is the real picture of Beyonce here. You see Jay-Z on the side looking like a camel? Respectfully. All right? We're gonna talk about this respectfully, bro. It's either that you have been doing all this demon behavior behind the scenes, all this stuff that we know that we can expose of Beyonce, especially with that church that Beyonce called herself buying and saying that that's praising the Lord, the things that was going on in there. All right? Or they're really cloning celebrities, and the bad photocopies of these clones, right, are starting to mess up like this. I need y'all to pay attention. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only, man. I'm not here to disrespect nobody, bro. I'm just here for us to get to the truth. That's all. All right? Leave it in the comments, hit the like button, and make sure you follow me here for more. Help me expose our government and the industry, bro. Facts.
This was the shocking moment when an MLB pitcher realized his life was over. Former Red Sox pitcher Austin Maddox went from a World Series ring holder to a child predator after he was arrested in Florida in 2024. Investigators say he believed he was talking to a unaware the teen was actually an undercover detective. When he arrived at the meeting place, officers pounced on him before he could even walk through the front door and arrested him immediately. The report says he had driven there intending to meet a part of a wider operation targeting predators. Maddox was charged with multiple felonies and later sentenced to 3 years in prison, his mugshot replacing whatever was left of his brief baseball career. A man in Mantua, Italy is under investigation after police discovered he had kept his mother's corpse hidden inside their home ever since she died in 2022. He never reported her death. Instead, he placed her body in a sleeping bag in the laundry room where it eventually mummified. Over the next 3 years, he continued collecting her pension, pulling in tens of thousands of euros annually. When her ID expired in 2025, he tried to renew it by dressing up in a wig, makeup, and his late mother's clothes, hoping to pass as her. But staff grew suspicious of his deep voice and masculine features and alerted police immediately. Authorities compared photos, searched the home, and found the mummified remains, leading to charges for fraud, identity theft, and concealing a corpse. History that they'll never teach you in school, Part 22. During McLovin's sex scene in Superbad, actor Christopher Mintz-Plasse had to have his mother present while filming due to legal requirements. The actor was only 17 years old at the time of filming, and California law mandates that a parent or guardian must be on set when a minor is involved in scenes of sexual nature. The US Navy once banned tattoos it considered obscene, leading to a boom of tattoos of nude women on men who didn't want to serve. If they decided to serve later on, they had to have a tattoo artist dress the woman to meet Navy requirements. In 1999, Disney had to recall 3.4 million copies of the children's film The Rescuers because one of the animators inserted a picture of a nude woman into 2 frames of the movie. During the Apollo missions, NASA provided male astronauts with condom-like urination devices available in small, medium, and large sizes. However, due to apparent concerns about personal image, many astronauts opted for the largest size, leading to improper fits and urine leakage. To address this, NASA engineers humorously relabeled the sizes as large, gigantic, and humongous.
What's that? Oh, after doing some investigation, they're finding out that Kenneka Jenkins, the one that was in the freezer that died not long ago, isn't actually Kenneka Jenkins. Tell me more! Yeah, the story gets crazy because basically what's going on is Kenneka Jenkins is supposedly the girl that died in this freezer, right? But it's not Kenneka Jenkins. There was actually a 48-year-old woman named Antonia Evans, and she was the one that actually was the one that perished in the freezer that. But why the secrecy? Well, because they wanted to harvest Kenneka Jenkins' organs. But the crazy thing is, it sounds like it was the mother who set the whole thing up, and she was going to get a big payday for these organs. Not only that, she anticipated getting some sort of a movie deal or something along those lines as well. But they're using Antonia Evans' body as the one that was in the casket that she was buried. But now the body is going to be exhumed up from the casket and find out if it's actually Kenneka Jenkins. But they believe it's not going to be. They think it's going to be Antonia Evans because they have been putting this together and piecing this together now. So this whole case is about to get blown wide open. Oh, goody.
I've heard about this case for as long as I can remember, and every time I hear about it, there's always so many things that lead up to absolutely nothing. So somebody's covering something up. But hopefully this situation gets resolved because everybody deserves justice, and we need to figure out what's going on here.
There's actually no way. We got to draw the line somewhere, Cynthia Erivo. How is she everywhere? What is it with this girl? And she's doing the most controversial stuff. There's got to be an agenda behind this. First of all, she plays Jesus Christ. That was the most controversial thing we've seen in a very long time. And she played at the Hollywood Bowl as Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ Superstar. And then you have all of the wicked stuff, the most cringe scripted interviews. No one knows why they're doing it. No one knows why they're acting like that. But it's just the weirdest thing. Everyone has a crazy transformation in their body. No one knows the answers to any of this stuff. And now you see rumors of her being casted as Voldemort in the new Harry Potter. Now, that's just a rumor. But people are saying that Voldemort might be casted as a woman, and everyone wants Cynthia Erivo to do it. And this is where I gotta draw the line. Now, this role in particular might actually be fitting, but in my opinion, let's just leave the classics the classics. If you want to make a whole new movie where women are playing men, vice versa, go for it. It's probably gonna flop in the box office anyway. But this Harry Potter, this is where we gotta draw the line.
I mean, she does look like him, but I don't think anybody wanted this for Harry Potter. I'm pretty sure we don't need an evil bald witch to be in Harry Potter. I mean, that does kind of fit the storyline, I guess, but she's a real life evil bald witch. This is supposed to be fictional.
What Simon Cowell just openly admitted to should show and tell you what is really going on in Hollywood. And maybe this is the reason why Simon Cowell has looked so different. Maybe, just maybe, looking more and more young. I wonder why that's the case, because he has admitted to doing a controversial blood rinsing program. Gee, I wonder what type of blood he is using for this procedure. If you know what he is doing, because all of these people who are famous are doing some very dark things behind the scenes. And Simon Cowell is no different. People really need to wake up. What do you think?
The Most Insane Coincidences, parts 26 through 50. While filming for Blade Trinity, Jessica Biel was instructed to shoot an arrow at the camera that was more than 60 feet away. It was protected by plexiglass except for a 2x2-inch square in front of the lens, which Biel unexpectedly managed to hit with a direct bullseye, thus destroying the $300,000 camera. During the Crimean War over 160 years ago, a French and Russian soldier fired at each other and their bullets collided. Just hours after the death of Nintendo CEO Satoru Iwata, a rainbow appeared over the Nintendo headquarters. Fans dubbed it the Rainbow Road to Heaven. Diana Ross, who sang Ain't No Mountain High Enough, lost her husband in a mountain climbing accident. In 2015, a dying fisherman told his two buddies to use his ashes as bait mix. 3 weeks after he died, his friends used his ashes to reel in this 180-pound monster carp, one of the largest ever caught. In 2004, grandmother Dorothy Fletcher suddenly suffered a heart attack on her flight to Florida. When the stewardess asked if there was a doctor on board, 15 people immediately stood up. It was a group of heart doctors on their way to a cardiology conference.
This video of Taylor Swift is going viral of her shaking her head when Ice Spice thanks God in her speech. Now, given the context of what she's saying, she might have just been agreeing with her, and you'll see what I mean when I show you the clip in a second. But something you need to realize is that God can be anything, especially when Ice Spice was showing us those demonic hand gestures at the Super Bowl and rocking an inverted cross. But just check this clip out.
We now have pictures from Epstein's Island house. If you remember, this was from his Manhattan townhome. It was a creepy statue of a girl. Well, there's some not so off pictures from this Epstein Island estate. Here's another one of a pool area back there. Here's one of a study with a chalkboard until you get a little bit closer. And then if you look at what is written on this chalkboard, and I'm not sure what is blacked out, some of the things say power, deception, music. What is all that about? But then it gets worse. So he's got this room with a dentist chair in it. And inside this room are all these weird masks on the wall of men's faces. As you know, this is one of the places that was notorious from where he shuttled young girls to come and basically be sex slaves for all kinds of men. Can you imagine, like, what in the world are they doing in this dentist chair? What and why? And what is this? And you just had a dentist on hand? What?
Right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me.
Even Beyonce's ex-drummer has accused her of doing witchcraft on her, to the point where Beyonce had a restraining order filed against her. Without a doubt, Beyonce and Jay-Z are certainly involved with high-ranking witches and occultists and people who are involved in some very, very dark things. If you call yourself a Christian, you need to throw away this music, you need to stop following these people, and you need to burn these idols, because they will take you right where they are headed if they don't repent.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
The footage Diddy never wanted you to see is now streaming worldwide. The Netflix documentary on Sean Combs has dropped, and we've learned that Diddy had been hiding things even darker than we thought. After his trial ended on July 2nd, 2025, too many questions were still left hanging. The court had only kept 2 of the 5 original charges. Everyone was baffled by the verdict, but in the shadows, 50 Cent kept quietly working on his documentary. At first, everyone thought its release had been cancelled, but that's when 50 Cent struck hard. And once he announced it was coming to Netflix, social media blew up. Diddy's team panicked so much, in my view, when they saw the announcement that they claimed all the unreleased footage in the documentary had been stolen. According to them, everything you're seeing on Netflix right now should never have seen the light of day, but it's too late. Seeing this, everyone knows it's the end for him.
Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
What does he mean when he says, we need to find someone who can work with us and who has already dipped into the dirtiest business? Diddy is hiding too much. It's disturbing. For months, even years, 50 Cent has been having fun trolling Diddy on social media, and today he added the final touch. Even though Diddy accuses Netflix of stealing his unreleased footage, Netflix fired back fast. They stated that the footage had been sent to them legally, so they now hold pretty much all the rights to that unreleased material. Now, let's see how Diddy plans to get out of this documentary mess. I think we can get the popcorn out again and enjoy watching everything that's going to unfold in the next few days. But you, tell me what you think of all this in the comments.
It's very clear that he's been involved in some really strange activity, but he is also a very powerful person and has a lot of hold on people, so he's not going to go down that easily. I think it's for the best that this happens though, because I'm pretty sure we are all good without Diddy being on the streets.
Is that she turned into a demon banshee who then seduced religious pious men in their sleep and ate babies and things like that. Which, if she did it, I kind of think that's fire.
How could any human being state that they think the thought of someone eating babies is fire? Or maybe we should give Megan the benefit of the doubt and say that she was stating that anyone who eats babies will end up in fire. Either way, what the hell is up with Megan Fox and MGK? There's been times when they go out together and he's wearing pink butterflies and 5-inch acrylics, and I just find that concerning. Times where he looks nothing like himself at all, or that he's mentally just not there. Hello, is anybody home? And of course, he's a pearl necklace boy. If you know, you know. If you don't, let me know in the comments and I will explain. What's up with the red tattoo he's got going down his neck? What do you think that represents? And why on earth do you think he decided to get fangs? I also thought it was interesting that Megan Fox decided to do her maternity photos in what looks like this black goo from Jennifer's body. And underneath her pregnancy announcement, she wrote, "Nothing is ever really lost. Welcome back." When their baby was born, they named her Saga Blade Fox Barker, and it was inspired by the art of storytelling.
I think, well, her journey, the 5 years of kind of her culmination of coming, disappearing, coming back again, disappearing, coming back again. She's an epic story, and that's what Saga.
I'm so confused as to how someone could possibly determine that. And I need someone to explain to me, what religion is this? What the heck are these two into?
These two are just strange, openly talking about drinking each other's blood. That was already a red flag. Like if my homie introduced me to his girlfriend and says, oh yeah, we drink each other's blood, that is not my homie no more. I'm sorry. Y'all can keep that pale face, neck sucking stuff away from me. I'm good. I'm good off all that. I don't think it should be normal for couples to drink each other's blood. That just sounds a little crazy.
So, House Democrats released never before seen footage of Epstein Island. I want y'all to take a good look at how the setup is here in this Epstein Island footage. Here's another look of the island. You can take notice of the blue roofs and the architecture. Take a good look at it. Now this is from the movie Blink Twice that came out last year. Yeah. I'ma need a behind the scenes look, cause why does it weirdly match that movie's set design perfectly? Never mind that the movie's plot is literally Channing Tatum being like Epstein and kidnapping women and taking them to an island and then drugging them. But now take into effect that the set is weirdly similar to the actual island. I mean, I swear they are literally just mocking us in our faces at this point. At this point, I don't even think Zoe Kravitz directed this movie. I think Epstein directed this movie and he was just trying to get an Oscar this whole time. What a load of scum!
Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably come across the fact that there are a whole lot of celebrities that bear an awful similar resemblance to historic figures from our past. So similar, in fact, that you might mistakenly think they're the same people. Well, if you want to see something even stranger, stick around. because I'm about to show you a handful of statues that also bear a very striking resemblance to some pretty well-known people. Case in point, Michelangelo's David. You see, I couldn't help but notice a very striking resemblance between Baron Trump and David. And well, if you don't think he resembles King David, stick around, because he coincidentally resembles another very prominent historic figure. One that they also just happened to build a statue of. This is Alexander the Great. And again, to me, there is a striking resemblance. But this one, there's even more. Because when compared to Alexander the Great, not only does he bear a very similar resemblance, but the statue of Alexander the Great just happens to have the exact same 3 skin markings.
Canal Cinco was absolutely terrifying, and if you lived in Mexico, you were warned to never turn Canal Cinco at 3 a.m. At exactly 3 a.m., you would see like distorted faces, strange audio coming from the TV, and kids said that sometimes even the cartoons had distorted faces and everything was absolutely terrifying. Some even said when the TV was static, you can see like figures and even hear whispers coming from it, which, yeah, I couldn't have imagined how terrifying that was. And we all know that 3 a.m. is like the space where spirits and stuff come out, and parents even claim that supposedly when their kids would watch Canal Cinco at 3 a.m., they would have nightmares and sleep paralysis for weeks. To this day, people claim that they experience the same thing over and over again, each one kind of similar, which is, very scary. And if you know Canal Cinco, you know how scary and odd, like for example when they made those weird Twitter posts? Yeah, no, you don't want that. So if you're scrolling at 3 a.m. and you come across Canal Cinco, just turn the TV off. You're not gonna win.
The rarest videos ever taken, part 1. Here's some extremely rare footage of a deep-sea serrate octopus drifting across the ocean floor like a ghost. Its body inflates and deflates like a balloon, each pulse a mix of breath and buoyancy. These fragile creatures live miles below the surface, as every confirmed sighting is considered a major scientific event. Recorded in 1899, the little girl and her cat is believed to be the world's first cat video, filmed by British pioneer Arthur Melbourne Cooper. The short clip shows a girl playing with her cat, now colorized and speed corrected. A rare glimpse into how even over a century ago, humans couldn't resist capturing the simple joy of a cat's affection. Here's a clip showing how a laser can easily destroy the camera on your phone. Those lines are irreversible as the sensor is now permanently damaged. Lahaina Noon is a rare solar event where an entire city briefly loses its shadows, making the world look like a video game before it's fully loaded. It happens twice a year in tropical regions like Hawaii when the sun passes directly overhead at a perfect 90-degree angle, so objects, trees, buildings, and people appear eerily flat as if reality itself hasn't fully rendered yet.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it, but that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it. I think it has been an ongoing thought, which is don't lose yourself. I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves.
This is one of Hollywood's biggest stars, Tom Holland. The Spider-Man actor worth over $25 million, part of the Marvel universe and dating a high A-list actor. Yet he's here saying he doesn't really like Hollywood. He admits that the industry scares him and that it changes people and that he's even lost friends because of it. But here's where it gets strange. The same man that wants nothing to do with Hollywood ends up doing this. Makes you wonder how much control actors and artists have in Hollywood. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
He's definitely compromised, because if you see the stuff that he's been doing lately, this grown man was wearing a dress, dancing like a woman in front of everybody. Like, if y'all ever click on my video and I'm wearing a dress, y'all are gonna have to come over here and save me, because like I would never willingly do that on my own. So I'm assuming it's the same for Tom Holland. I mean, unless he's into that, but nobody's really trying to see that. I'm sorry, Tom, but we're not trying to see that, bro.
So allegedly, y'all, the world is ending again. Now, that's not coming from me. That's coming from this man from Ghana named Igbo Noah. And guess what, y'all? Speaking of Noah, he's building the Noah Ark, modern day. I lied to y'all not. He's real live building Noah's Ark with his bare hand. This man is not rich, y'all. He's building it with all wood This is it right here, y'all. Now, I don't know how much people he think he gonna be able to fit in there, but he allegedly said upwards of 600 million people. And the reason why he's building this, y'all, is because he said he got a sign from God. God told him that the world is ending on December 25th, 2025. That's Christmas. I'm not saying the world is ending, and I'm not saying it ain't. You already know we've been going through a lot this year, so would it really surprise me? No. But I doubt it. You got a lot of people saying he crazy, and then you got a lot of people saying he's not crazy, and he really telling the truth. So I need y'all to jump down in the comments and let me know. Do y'all think this man is really on to something, like he really had that vision and God told him? Or do y'all think he maybe just, I don't know.
These are the terrifying reasons you could never survive a Quetzalcoatlus. First off, they were 3 times taller than you. They stood over 16 feet tall, the height of a giraffe, with a wingspan the size of a bus 35 feet wide, being the largest animal to ever fly on Earth. But it gets more horrifying. They had 5 times better eyesight than humans, easily seeing tiny movements from miles away. And when they spotted you, they could jump up to 8 feet high, taking off from the ground alone. But when they flew, they wouldn't just flap their wings, mostly gliding instead, meaning that you wouldn't hear them coming. And even if you did have a chance to run, their bones are hollow, making them extremely fast, allowing them to reach up to 80 miles per hour when flying, impossible to outrun. But if you still somehow manage to escape under something nearby, you'd quickly figure out flying isn't the only thing they can do. Able to run on all 4s, but it gets worse once they find you, as they didn't have teeth. Instead, they would use their 8-foot-long razor-sharp beak to attack you, picking you out of your hiding spot and knocking you down with it. If you were small enough, they would just swallow you whole. But if you were larger, they couldn't eat too much at once, so they would constantly jab you and throw you around until smaller chunks of you tore off, swallowing you piece by piece.
I'm sorry, a Quetzalcoatl what? If I ever seen this thing in real life, I'm not gonna go find out what it is. I'm going back inside. But you know, there's always those few people in life that don't care about life, so they're gonna go figure out what it is. But you know, this thing seemed like an all-around threat and could take us out very easily, so it's kind of a good thing that it's not here anymore. And I know there's a lot of y'all out there that are gonna be like, oh, but what if it's nice? I don't really want to find out if it's nice. Like, imagine the first person that said that about a bear, who was like, oh, maybe the bear's nice. Where's he now? I mean, he either started a good friendship or became that bear's breakfast. So
this mom got pregnant by her daughter's boyfriend.
Oh my god.
It's such a dark scenario, yeah. And this happened this year. It was this mom from Washington, and it was this year. Her name was Robin Polston, and she was like 43 years old at the time. This lady was a single mom, I believe, with 2 kids, and both of her kids were like basically teenagers. The first time this mom met this kid, her daughter's boyfriend, was at a school dance for middle school where she was chaperoning for her daughter's school dance. And I guess from there, things started getting a little interesting between her and this kid, who was in 8th grade at the time, mind you, when she first met her daughter's boyfriend. So around that time, the daughter and the kid break up.
Yeah.
I don't know where this happened, but it was probably in between that time, from what I've heard, that the mom has been in some form of contact with this boy who is her daughter's ex-boyfriend now. This girl was playing house with a where she let him move in.
What the hell?
They eventually this year just had a baby, and what blew my mind is she even took maternity photos with this little boy.
No way.
And I'm talking about, bro, they got professional photos, and she lied and told the photographer that he was 25 years old and he just had a baby face. Swear to God.
What the hell?
Crazy, bro. She went deep.
Bro, the fact that she already has a kid the same age, around the same age as little bruh.
Her daughter
yes
dated him. This is her daughter's ex-boyfriend.
Bro, she's sick, bro.
Yeah. There are pictures on her Facebook that she posted herself, the mom Robin,
when her
daughter and him were at their 8th grade graduation, and it's literally like months ago.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Or like last year type of thing. What really blew my mind is when this girl had the baby, because she delivered it, she also named the baby after the kid.
Dude.
Yeah.
These crazy people never fail to amaze me with how stupid their decisions are. And the fact that she even got away with this for this long is really, honestly, even more concerning. Nobody's seen this happening. There was nobody around noticing this. I find that very hard to believe. So, but, you know, just take this lady and throw her in jail.
The last 24 hours have been insane. Despite Stranger Things 5 literally breaking records on Netflix, it is now dropped to the number 2 spot after the Diddy documentary was released just 2 days ago. And Diddy himself is pissed. He even sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix saying that the footage they obtained of him was illegal. I mean, pretty ironic coming from Diddy. Talking about people in the Diddyverse, never seen before footage was released of Epstein's Island. And as you'd expect, very creepy. There's even one picture of a dentist chair surrounded by masks of men on the wall. And also a whiteboard with the words power, deception, political, etc. I mean, what even is this shit? Huh? Some creep brainstorming session? And what the hell have they blocked out? Also, don't know how many of you believe in vampires, but a British teenager has gone missing near Dracula's castle. Yes, the Dracula's castle in Transylvania, Romania. 18-year-old George Smith went hiking alone in the mountains but has not been seen since the 23rd of November. That's coming close to 2 weeks. And despite this, no one knows where he went or what's happened to him. Speaking of search and rescue missions, Malaysian authorities are resuming their search for the flight HS-370, 11 years after it mysteriously disappeared with 239 people on board. Now, they're actually partnering with an American marine robotics company, Ocean Infinity, to scan the ocean bed over a 55-day period. And lastly, Australia have officially begun removing under 16s from social media. Bro, and the ban only comes into effect next week, but they are just raring to go. In fact, Meta are starting early with reports of kids' accounts being deactivated in the country. But, you know, they did say that you can download and preserve your social media account so that when you do turn 16, you can just get right back to it.
This girl captured something creepy in this video. After watching the video the next day, she noticed that the family driving in the car looked very strange. Do you think they look creepy?
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video. What made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one. Thank you.